Hi, this is Larry London from the Voice of America, and we've been talking about this now for several weeks, and finally the moment is here. We're very, very excited to welcome to our worldwide audience a young lady who has collected 3 #1 hits this past year. On her way to number 4 from her debut album, we've got Lady Gaga.
Hi.
Welcome to Washington.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
What an unbelievable year with 3 #1 songs off the debut album, soon to be your 4th, Paparazzi, which is on track to be #1 again very, very soon. And with news this past week that Billboard is going to honor you with at the Women of the Year dinner that they're having.
I just can't believe it. It was a really life-changing year, and I just kind of pray every day and say thanks for all the things that have come my way. And the Rising Star Award is a very big deal. And, you know, I was just a girl from New York that wanted to make her dad proud. And it's been a lot more than that this year, I think.
Obviously, your family must be very proud. I've heard you talk about your sister, a younger sister. I've heard you say happy birthday to her on television.
Yeah.
Is she in music, too?
No, but she's really into design and into art, so we share that in common, and I'm trying to kind of guide her in the right direction in that world.
Now, everything that's happening to you is just, I mean, it's unbelievable. 9 MTV nominations, and now you've got 5 MTV UK nominations. I mean, it just, you must pinch yourself and say, I can't believe this is happening.
I can't. I truthfully can't. I mean, I thought I may get nominated for some just because I put so much time and love into my music videos, but 9 nominations, I was floored. It was a really wonderful night, and I just have all my fans to thank for all my success, because I really have the best fans in the whole world.
Now, has music always been in the plan for you? Is this what you kind of always dreamed of doing, and you're just living your dream, or is this all a surprise to you?
No, definitely. I mean, I've been playing piano since I was 4. And been studying, and whether it was in music theory classes or I was in jazz band or writing music, and around 14 I started to play out in local clubs. My mother would take me and sign me up on the open mic night sheet, and I would play little songs that I had written, and then I kind of built confidence and I started going out more and more and doing that. And when I went to college, I started a band, and we were touring, and then I moved out. I mean, I could tell the story forever, but really it's just that I never gave up, and music's had always been my destiny.
And one of the refreshing things about you is that you're very sincere. You're the real deal. I mean, you are an original, and you are who you are, and you're not affected by what other people say or whatever. You know, you just put yourself out there. The costumes, the outfits that you put on, you know, are just amazing. You know, every one is better than the one before it. How can you continue to outdo yourself?
Well, I'm really blessed to have some really tremendous creative friends, and they stick by me, and I've always stuck by them, and I think that that's why we've kind of had the cultural response that we've had, is because I've never moved beyond what I know and love. Just because I sold some records didn't mean that I left my friends behind. I always brought them with me. Even as far as the VMA performance that I just did a couple weeks back, I designed that performance with all of my oldest friends, and from top to bottom, the garment that bleeds on its own, and that was kind of a triumphant moment for us.
How do you top a bloody nose during a live stage performance? What are you going to do at the Grammys? I mean, your boobs were on fire at the Much Music Award show, and I mean, can you give us a little preview of what we can expect?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I guess that's what my fans like, though. That I think that they love that. They never know what I'm going to do.
And how about fashion design label for you? Is that something, I know you have the house of Gaga, but is there a label in the plan for you?
You know, I'm not really sure yet. I think that it's kind of something that's been happening in music, is that once artists start to become more and more well-known, they start to become an enterprise. And I'm not really interested in doing that. I'm not sure why. I just am much more concerned with having the greatest stage show on earth and giving my fans something that's relevant to the music. I did just do these headphones with Dr. Dre, but for me the headphones are Heartbeats, Heartbeats by Gaga. But for me, headphones are related to music, so it's not the same as doing, you know, a giant clothing line. I may do some kind of an art installation line at some point, but I'm actually more concerned with promoting young designers that don't have any way to kind of get their garments into the commercial and mainstream market with the budgets that they have today. So I kind of use my fame to help my friends out.
And you're re-releasing the album, The Fame Monster, on November 24th. What will be the difference between that one and the Fame?
Well, I'm releasing them together. Mm-hmm. So traditionally with re-releases, which I think is slightly unfair, is that you kind of sneak a couple new songs onto the old album and release them as singles to keep the record afloat. And I understand why they do it today, but the truth was that I didn't need to put out a re-release because there's still songs on my record that my label wants to release. I just wanted to put out new music. So when you buy the Fame, you flip it over, and on the other side is a brand new album cover, and it says The Fame Monster. And when you open it up, there's the Fame album on the left side and the Fame Monster album on the right. So it's almost an entirely full album's worth of material. And I'll continue to release both songs from that new body of work, as well as songs from the previous album. I just wanted to give my fans new music. It's nothing more than that. And
tell me about this Michael Bolton collaboration, which I understand was your idea.
Well, they were looking for somebody to write music for him, and I'm a songwriter also. And they called me up and they said, it was my record label actually, because we share a record label. They said, we couldn't think of anyone better than you to write an 80s love song. And I said, well, that's probably true. And they said, well, how do you feel about writing for Michael Bolton? I said, oh, wow, I love Michael Bolton. That would be great. That sounds like a great kind of fun thing for me to do. And he's a really lovely guy. And he was kind of really an inspirational figure for me when I was working with him, because I was still really starting out. And he didn't really know who I was, but of course everybody knows who Michael Bolton is. And it's a beautiful record. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's called Murder My Heart. It's really beautiful.
Now, you mentioned that, everybody knows him. Everybody around the world knows you, too. A lot of people don't realize, though, that you haven't always been, at least from what I've read, you haven't always been Gaga, that persona you discovered in the last few years. Can you tell us about at what point all of a sudden, I know you were playing clubs and you had some in New York and you were really working hard too, and from what I read there was a story about using hairspray as a special effect. It was early on in your career. And so at what point did you say, I'm going to be Lady Gaga and I'm going to take myself in this very different direction?
Well, it was kind of gradual. I mean, for a while I had this very long brown hair and I was really into Bob Dylan and Steve Miller Band, and I was listening to Jefferson Airplane and Grace Slick, and I was, in fields with my friends listening to Radiohead, and I was doing just a different kind of music. And then I moved to a different part of the city, into the Lower East Side, and I still kept my brown hair for a while, but I started listening to metal and AC/DC and David Bowie and Queen, and I just got into new kinds of music. I've never really been a digital mixtape kind of girl. I'm way more into listening to albums, full albums at a time, and kind of saturating myself in genres. Mm-hmm. So once I got into that place, I started to just dress differently. My songwriting style changed, and I put together this variety show called Lady Gaga and the Starlight Review, and it was with my friend who was named Lady Starlight, and we put this show together. And I was a burlesque dancer at the time too, so I was kind of my way of, I was kind of very good at marketing, I guess you could say. I was marketing myself as a burlesque dancer and as a pop musician. And in my neighborhood, that was the most revolutionary thing that I could do, was make pop music. Pop music wasn't cool where I lived, so I decided I would make it cool.